Okay, so starting from the software development training, we have a classroom repository. Now, when you click on the classroom repository, right, there are only two files here. There's a README file and a Git ignore file. A Git ignore just contains what files and folders you want Git to ignore. I had it create a stock Git ignore for Node.js applications. So that's there. But any file or folders that we don't want to be source controlled, that we want to stay on our computer and not go up, we'll put in Git ignore. And as we work, I'll explain there's certain standards for some things that you keep out of Git, and we'll talk through those. So when you come here, you see this button right here. This is clone and download. Now, Git is what we call a distributed source control or source code management system. It's distributed because a version of the repository lives on your computer and a version lives on the server. With Git, you can commit your changes and all that on your local without being connected to the internet. And then whenever you have a connection or whenever you want, you can push those to the server. You don't have to push every single time. Other source control management systems like SVN, you cannot commit without being connected to the server. So when you say commit, it transfers, that's an old school way of doing it. So now with Git, you have a copy of the repository. The repository is the code base, essentially the files that you're working on with other people, right? It's kind of like a folder if you see it right there. Right, so set up like a, yes.
Yeah, what I have here is quite different from what I'm seeing in front of me. I have what you want to do for create a repository.
No, you have to be on, so you have to come to software development training. Make sure that you are here.
How do I get there?
So did you accept the invitation to join the organization?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So you should have, if you come here to your home screen, if you click on this right there, it should show up on your left here.
Okay, let me go back there.
Yeah, quick question. I was also going to ask how you got to this point, because I'm at the point where it says read the guide, and probably missed something else after that.
Okay. So do you see when you click on this icon at the top left, does it show up on the left there?
Well, let me see.
You're the classroom.
Do you see software development training?
Let me see.
Yes, click on the classroom.
Yeah, I clicked on the classroom. It says read the guide.
Right. So now can you come here to the screen? You should have a screen like this. If you click on the GitHub logo on the top left, right? You have a screen here with the repository, search, and all of that. Do you have
She just needs to scroll down the page. She's on top of the page.
Okay. So if you're here, you should have it show up in this list. If not, you can actually search and just search for class. You see how it shows up for me here?
Yeah.
Click on that.
Okay.
That should bring you to classroom.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay. All right, great. So once you're here on classroom, the first step in working on a project, right, is to clone the repository. And that means you're going to make a copy of it down to your local computer. Okay? Now, I don't have a copy of this on my local computer. I just created this repository on GitHub. So I'm going to walk through that, and you can do that with me. So right now in training, we can stay in the training folder, right? I'm doing this from the command line first, then I'll get a volunteer to share the screen, and then we'll do it from using the UI for Windows. So for doing it on the terminal, you can Mac, I mean, even if you're on Windows, you can do that as well if you go to the command prompt. Remember, you can go to the command prompt by going to the Windows, to the Start menu and type in CMD, right? And then you have to change into the training folder, which is CD training, okay? Now, once you're in training, the command is git clone, and then I need to get, here on GitHub, when you click on clone or download, right, you have this address here. For you guys, I'll say use HTTPS. So you have an address that starts with HTTPS. For me, I have a slightly different setup. I have two-factor authentication and all kinds of weird things going on. So I use the Git URL, which is SSH. It's a more secure, more advanced way of connecting, but you don't need that right now. So click on clone and download, click on use HTTPS, and then you can click on this button to copy the URL, right there. Or you can click in there and Control C, Command C on Mac. And then back to your terminal, git clone, and paste that URL, right? And press enter. And right there, if you look at it, it says cloning into classroom, right? And it says done. And if I now check here, if I do an ls, which is a list, I see I now have a classroom folder here. And if I change into classroom, cd classroom, and I do an ls here, I have two files. I have the .gitignore and I have the readme, which is what I have here, .gitignore and readme. Has anyone tried?
What was that command to see the files? Was it ls?
ls. Mm-hmm.
But through all this.
Yeah.
Or
But
maybe
do
not now.
do the ls-al. ls-al. Okay, and that's to show hidden files, because gitignore is usually a hidden file.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if I lock you, will you lock? Oh, it does. Wait.
Okay.
I have something like a key.
That's password. That's your password. You got to put your password in.
Yeah, you have to put in your password. So with the HTTPS, you have to put in your username, which is your email address, and your password.
Oh, I have to create a password now, or the password I using.
The password you used in GitHub.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's your GitHub username and password. Okay. When you try to clone, it will ask you for your credentials because it's a private repository. Right.
Will it ask for the password every time or just one time?
It will ask for the password every time unless you do something, which is why I have mine set up the way I have it, because I don't want to put my password in every time. But we'll talk about that and how people do that. But that's a complex process right now. You have to generate an SSH key. You have to put the the SSH key in your account, essentially identifying your computer. So it's a complex process for most people, but and then you don't have to put your password in every time. Okay. All right. So that's the cloning from a terminal. Again, the command git clone and the address of the repository you want to clone. You get the address from here. When you click on this button, it shows you the address to clone. Use use HTTPS. If you use SSH, you have to set up your SSH key pair, all of that. But just use HTTPS and then you'll be
Question.
username password. Yes.
Mine is not giving me that HTTPS.
Okay. When you click on this green button here, what do you see here? So you should have used HTTPS or use SSH. So if you see it with git at github.com, that is trying to use SSH. That's a complex way of doing it, but it's a more secure way of doing it. You don't need that at this stage. So make sure you switch to use HTTPS, and then you have the URL that you get should
How
start.
do you switch it?
This link, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Yeah, you see that link right there where my mouse is?
Yep.
Yeah. So when you come in, if it has the git at whatever here, the link will say use HTTPS. So click on that to switch it, and then the address here is what you need.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so that's how you do it from a terminal. Is everybody good with doing it from a terminal, or do we want to use the?
Mine says in the terminal.
Okay, so if you have multiple computers there, please mute every other one. If you're connected on multiple devices, you have to mute one.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, but it's feeding back because there's another device.
Yeah. So it says that paths cannot be defined, or the path I'm trying, it says the system cannot find the path specified in the terminal.
Okay, so let's do this. Just type git in the terminal.
Okay.
Only git. Nothing else. Type git and press enter.
Okay.
So like this.
Yeah, it gives me a whole lot of commands.
Like this. Okay. Now git space clone. The command you want is git space clone space and then paste the address that you copied. Okay, so git space clone space then the address that you copied from GitHub, and that is how you clone the repo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's letting me. Okay, so then create a username and password.
No, use the username and password that you use for GitHub.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Thank
the
you.
username, the email address, and password that you have for GitHub, that's what you have to do.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have done now. What next?
Okay, so is everyone done with that? Everyone good?
No, I'm not. I'm still on this. Do I download the zip or open a desktop?
No. So let me state those instructions again. You're on GitHub, right?
Yes,
Click on this button.
I did, and I have what you have there.
And you have switched it to HTTPS. Copy this URL. Copy it. So select it and say Control-C. Or right-click on it and copy.
Yes, I did.
Right? That's all you need to do here.
Okay.
No download zip, nothing. Then come back to your terminal, to your command prompt.
Okay.
And type git space clone space and then paste that URL that you copied.
I'm in the wrong directory. I need to change my directory, but I can't remember the shortcuts.
Okay.
To the training. I actually want to create a new training class or maybe a www folder.
Okay.
Training folder and all that stuff. Should I go to my file explorer?
You can use your file explorer. You can take the directory that you cloned and just move it wherever you want.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay. So I can just paste it directly into my. Actually, I even want to just change from C to D.
Yeah,
For
you
instance,
can just
how do I
carry.
change my directory on the terminal?
Well, if you want to move the directory from a terminal, it's more.
No, I want to change the directory on my terminal from my C. It
Okay.
defaults to C, right?
Okay. Yes. So you want to switch to another hard drive. That's more complex, but on Windows it will be CD D :/.
Sorry, how do I?
All right, thanks. I'll try that.
Yeah. So that changes you to a different hard drive.
How do I retrieve my terminal again?
Go to the Start menu and type CMD. Okay. So is everyone else okay? Everyone else is good and ready to move on? Because the next 20
Yes.
minutes are going to be fully interactive. Like I'm going to ask you to do stuff, and I'm
Can
going
you
to
send me an
show.
email for the class? I'm unable to join the class on GitHub.
Okay, what email address? Is it the same email address you signed up with?
Yes.
Okay. What's your email?
I just put it on the chat.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a late comer to the group.
Oh, okay. Well, so I might have to deal with you after.
Okay.
Just stay on right after. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So everyone's signed in now, right? Set up.
I'm not signed in, but keep going. I'll catch up somehow.
Okay. I need everyone cloned, and I'm gonna need if everyone's good with the command prompt, then let's go on with the command prompt. Okay. The UI will be easier to use after you use the command prompt. You understand what's going on with the UI. All right. Okay. Now let's open that. So in Visual Studio Code. So for Windows users, go to VS Code and go to Open Folder and find this Classroom folder. For me, I'm gonna say code.
Say that again.
Okay, so let's open the folder here.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm using the command from Git CMD. Am I good?
Yes. Were you able to clone it?
Yes, I was.
Okay, good. So once you clone it, then come into Visual Studio Code and we will work it out from here. So here is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a folder. And you can do it from File Explorer. You don't have to do it from the command line. You can go to File Explorer and open up this folder, right? And then,
So just for us Mac users, remember that code .1 doesn't work for us. So,
yes.
but I just went to Visual Studio.
So you go to Visual Studio.
And then open folder. Yeah, fine.
And say open folder. Yes.
Okay.
So you go to Visual Studio. For Windows and Mac users, go to Visual Studio Code and go to open folder and then find that Classroom folder, select it and open them. And voila, you essentially have a new project here called Classroom. Okay? And that's it. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a folder. And if you want to create a folder in your project, you can do it from your File Explorer. You don't have to actually use the command line. For me, it's just a more comfortable place. So I'm going to make a directory here, and I don't want you to make this directory. I don't want anyone to do this, okay? Because I want to do this and push it out, and I want you to pull it. I want you to see how you can collaborate, right, using Git. So this is now a live demonstration. So I'm going to make a directory here, right? And I'm going to call it people, right? And so here, I'm going to create a new file. What do I want to do? New file, right? And I'm going to say console.log, right? Line cat, no, sorry. Yeah. What am I doing? Console.log. Okay. And then I'm going to save this file, and I'll say save file as, save as. And in this people folder here, I'm going to save it as Hawaii.js. Or no, let's make a hyphen. So it'll be Hawaii-hyphen.js. Now remember, all lowercase. Okay, I'm going to save this, and I have this file here. Okay, and I should be able to come to my terminal here. This is all familiar, right? I'll say node people and it should console log my name. Now,
Please, sorry to bring you back. How did you get to that classroom folder, or just created it?
no, your clone created it. When you cloned, it created the classroom folder.
Because I didn't see it on my own terminal, on my own
I
VS.
didn't either.
Well, so if you type ls in your terminal,
Yeah.
ls like list.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah, it's there.
Yes. So, and if you type cd space classroom, it takes you in there. But in Visual Studio Code, you have to open up Visual Studio Code and open up that folder to start your project. And when you open up the terminal, it will automatically be there. Okay, so you have to open up Visual Studio Code, click on File, Open Folder, and navigate to that folder in your File Explorer, and say Open Folder, and you already be in the classroom. Okay, so now, yes, so I'm going to show a git command. I want everyone to take note of this, and it will still be here, so let me create it. Now, first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a git add and dot, which is to say add everything. Okay, note that folder. What is the command? Note that command. What this command does is it adds all new files. That's files that Git does not know about. Right? Let me reset that. I'm resetting it. Don't worry about what I just did. Let's start with this. If I do git status, right? Git says, oh, they're untracked files, right? It says untracked files, people slash, which means Git is not tracking this. This folder is not yet in my version control. So Git is not yet monitoring it. It's not tracking changes to it or anything. So I need to tell Git to start tracking it. So if I say git add period it tells Git to start tracking everything that's new. So if I add new files now, they'll be untracked. If I say git add plus, Git will start tracking it. So if I now check Git status, you see what it tells me? It says, hey, there's a new file here. And that's the new file I just created. And then what I want to do now is I want to say git commit -am. This is add, and then I have to put a new message. Like I have to add a message to my commit so that when we go to GitHub, we'll see why this file appeared, like what change am I introducing. So I'll say I created my name file. And I press enter. And it says, okay, one file changed, one insertions, and create mode for that file. Then the last command is git push. And when I say git push, you see this? It says connecting objects, whatever, and then it's pushing that file to GitHub. So if I come to GitHub now, and everyone's gonna do this. So just be a little patient, but if I come to GitHub now, and I refresh this, look at that. I have a people folder. You see what it says here? Right? It shows my name there and it says, hey, created my name file. And you see that it shows that against the people folder 41 seconds ago. And if I come into the people folder, here's that my name file. And if I open it up, here's the code I wrote. Okay? So here's what I want everyone to do now. In the classroom folder, and you have to be in the classroom folder in your terminal, type git pull.
Some of us are still behind.
I don't even have that folder.
I can't
So,
get
okay. So let's get you to that folder. If you're, let's go to Visual Studio Code. Okay. In Visual Studio Code, go to File and go to Open Folder. Now this is assuming that your Git clone was successful, right?
It wasn't I couldn't get past my command prompt. I can't log in.
Did you try Git clone?
Yeah, I tried. It asked me for now it's giving me Git path destination path classroom already exists and it's not an empty directory.
Because you have already cloned it. So your Git clone was successful.
Yes, but okay. I couldn't sign in. It actually prompted me to sign in.
No, your Git clone was successful.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
So how do we locate it?
So this is what we're doing right now.
I haven't done my Git clone. So
okay.
I'm actually like last in class right now.
Yeah. So let's do the Git clone. It's very important. We have 10 minutes left. Okay. So once you open up Visual Studio Code, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. And then go to Open Folder.
Yeah.
And browse and see if you can find your classroom.
I cannot find I only saw LOJS. I can't find the classroom there.
Okay. You still have the terminal open, right?
Yeah.
Type PWD.
PWD.
Like that, PWD.
So I'm in training.
Yeah, tell me what it says. Read the whole thing.
Users, then my name / training.
Users, then your name. Nothing between your name and training.
No, just /.
Okay. So now type ls.
I have lo.js.
Do you see classroom?
No.
Okay. Have you done the Git clone?
I've done it. I think I deleted something. I don't know.
Okay, can you do the Git clone again?
But I tried doing it again, and I'm getting destination path classroom already exists, and it's not an empty directory.
Okay, so let me stop sharing, and I'll ask you. I'll stop recording as well. And I'll stop sharing, and I'll ask you to share as well. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and this may help other people.